You know what? Everyone asked me, Mike, was there every time you were afraid during this whole time? Only once, and that was 10 days before the impeachment trials. Remember that? That was impeachment trials in early February of 2021. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not able to, nobody's listening. I'm losing everything. They're attacking me, losing box stores. And then I heard, I imagined those impeachment trials that we would all be able to go on there. I'd be able to go on with the evidence just like the OJ trial, right? And we'd all see the evidence and we'd get our country back and we'd get this apology, whoever did it, whatever it was. Well, then I got a call from one of my senator friends. And he said, Mike, they're not going to let evidence be shown. And he goes, and I'm going, and now I flushed down because now I'm going, okay, here's a guy running around the White House, said martial law, looks like a secret agent, and you just had January 6th. And all I could think of is, it wasn't even so much what they're going to do to me, but it was like, it's over, right? And and I'm going to God, please, God, how can I be handed this, but nothing to do with it?
Guys,
I prayed that day. But thank you. But I prayed that day and I got down on my knees and I said, God, how can we be given this? Give us grace. I said, we need something right now. And it was like right away, because we couldn't communicate this to the world, this evidence that I had, it's not what I had thought was going to happen. We'd be able to put it out there. And it was like right away, do a movie. Well, I'm going, how can I do a movie in 7 days? And I wanted it to be out, in my head it was doing, and it's got to be out by that Friday. The impeachment trials were the following Tuesday. And they were all about that there's no evidence, remember? And so by a miracle, we put that movie together in 6 days. Patrick, you were there.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. I didn't know all the people that came for that movie. I had never met them. I didn't know Patrick, Matt DePerno. This was all miracle that this was put together and done in 7 days. Actually, I think it was 6 days, actually. But anyway, on February 5th, when we launched Absolute Proof by 9 a.m., and I could tell you the backstory as I'm driving from Brandon's house. First time I had met him too. And we made this movie and we only had one copy of it. And I remember we had all the security had left except for one guy. And we had to have this done by 9 a.m. because it was going to be shown. And so he's editor, piecing it together, giving me this drive I had to take out of there. And I remember I had to go to out of my hotel, and I said, keep the security guy here to protect that copy. I remember heading to my hotel, and I get there, and it's like, you know what, I'm not even going to go into that, but there was something happened there, and I got pulled over. And I thought it was a bad guy behind me. And I mean, I'm going like this, and he's following like this, and it's the middle of the night. We're the only two on the road. And here I'm just going to hit the gas to Florida, and to take off. And he turns on his lights. It's a cop, and he goes, Mike Lindell, he says, are you done with the movie? And we hadn't even told anyone. He had heard as a neighbor. And he goes, I go, yeah, we're done. And I said, I got to get to my home. He gave me a police escort there and all the way back. I was a miracle. But anyway, so this comes out the next morning. And I think you all need to know this. This launched at 9 a.m. the next morning, all the way up to February 4th. I was attacked every day from morning till night by media, every single day. That's all I did for 18 hours a day. I'd let them call me at midnight. I don't have a PR person. I didn't have, it was just me getting on the phone, talking to the New York Times and CNN, Politico, Huffington Post, the Daily Beast, the Daily Mail, all of them just attacking me relentlessly. They're writing their articles, and I go, yes, I lost 3 more weeks. I would spread out the disaster so that I could keep it in the news. Spread out the disaster as my company just, well, when this movie fell on February 5th at 9 a.m. and it went live to the world, I'll tell you what, you talk about going Fox on someone, which I mean silent. Every media person in the world, it went completely silent. Google blocked it. You couldn't Google my name. You couldn't Google absolute proof. You couldn't Google nothing. They took over Google. They took over my Wikipedia. They literally, you couldn't even do anything. Okay? You could not.